something happening here. But what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
By John Southam there. And the team is number 1, Greg Guider, 2, Robert French from Musselbrook, 3, Derek Moran, 4, James Cunningham, 5, Philip Duke, number 6, Wayne Saunders, 7 is Joe Craigie, 8, Peter Rodden, 9, Philip Guest is the replacement player coming in late, 10 is David Brooks, 11, John Southam, 12, Terry Welsh, and 13 is Tony Keeble. Replacement players 14, Kevin Butters, and 15, Greg McCormack. There's Terry Welsh from Gunnedah, the captain, coming over. And we'll have the toss about to take place now. Breeze once again very fluky here this afternoon. Blowing down the ground from the far end. Then on the Kent Street side, it's coming across the ground.
Take a couple off, you might need it before it's all over.
Peter, how important do you think these early forward clashes will be?
Well, no doubt about it, Wayne. They'll test one another out early and it will be important. Main thing is that whether Northern Division can stand up to the early clash that they have with them. I think that their chances are throwing it wide because New Zealand are a very big team and look very strong in the forwards too.
New Zealanders going through their traditional dance. We're ready now for the kick-off. Northern Division against New Zealand. Fullback Hudson has the ball placed for New Zealand. With the start of play. There it is, the start of play.
All right.
And Greg Guider, fullback for Northern Division, has first touch of the ball. Immediately met with some solid defence there. Mark Gillespie over the top for New Zealand. Welsh up at dummy half. Northern Division running straight into some very solid defence in the early part. A nice little run there by Philip Guest, who's having his first touch of the ball. Welsh back to Brooks. Kick for the far touchline, bounces awkwardly, but it finds touch. So we'll have the first scrum of the match. Terry Welsh, a very experienced hooker. And it'll be interesting to see how he fares against the New Zealanders here today. And it's a penalty to Northern Division for collapsing of the scrum, and differential penalty. Brooks with a long kick. And here's Duke. Walsh again up at dummy half. Craigie cuts out a couple of players with a nice pass to Brooks. Almost up to the quarter line now, Northern Division. Saunders at dummy half. Through Rodden. Out to Tony Keeble, the big prop forward. Peter Rodden is up at dummy half. Out to Craigie. And Saunders with him, but didn't have enough room, wrapped up well by Dwyer. Saunders again at dummy half for Northern Division. Out to Phil Guest, running strongly. Almost up to the quarter line now. Last tackle coming up for Northern Division. Walsh again at dummy half. Southam Turns it back inside. And a nice bit of work by Greg Guider. Guider going for the corner out to Duke, and Duke's in for Northern Division's first try. Almost under the post. A great try to Northern Division in the first 2 minutes of the match. That was a good bit of work, Peter.
Yes, Wayne, it was. It was quickly taken to the blind side. I'm sure that the New Zealanders expected the high bomb, and John Southam it was that went to the blind side and drew the defence. Snapped out a little pass to his support there.
And Peter Rodden was there with him.
Who was it?
I think it was Peter Rodden who was with him.
Rodden ran off him, got it away to Guider really on the burst, and he set the try alight then when he pulled the fullback in his drawing and clipped it away to Philip Duke, who scored well.
Yes.
Good try.
That'll be the easiest try I think Philip Duke will have scored for some time. All he had to do was accept the pass, stroll over the line and put it down to the left-hand side of the upright. So here's Greg Guider with the conversion attempt. 3 minutes gone. Northern Division lead by 3 points to 0. A vital lead in this early part. Northern Division, New Zealand, who only arrived in Tamworth at 2 o'clock. Only an hour before the game. They certainly need time to find their feet. The goal. And it's 5 points to 0 in favour of Northern Division, and great early lead. Well, we'll see what New Zealand are made of now, Peter. We'll have to come back.
Yes, that's right, Wayne. It's been all Northern Division with the ball so far, so in a moment we'll find the test of material.
Yep. We'll see what Northern Division's defence is like too when New Zealand get a little bit more possession. Saunders is up at dummy half now. Out to Southam from Werris Creek, and a nice pass back to Keeble. Northern Division running well. Back it comes to Brooks, running very strongly, the country representative. Welsh. A pass a bit too high there for Rodden, and it's gone to ground. And New Zealand come up with it through Gillespie. Out to Whittaker now. At the pass back to Friend. That's Clayton Friend, almost to the quarter line. And out it comes now to Wright. And the ball's been lost. A knock on and a scrum to go down just outside the quarter line, Northern Division's end of the ground. Northern Division leading by 5 points to 0. Certainly would be the feather in Northern Division's cap if they were able to defeat New Zealand here this afternoon. As I mentioned earlier, New Zealand only arriving here an hour before the game. And there's Joe Craigie on the burst. He's in top form at the moment in club games. A good pass back to Rodden. Out it goes to Moran in the centres. Pass back, Northern Division running well. That's Rodden again backing up. Philip Duke out there as dummy half. This Northern Division side well drilled. Wayne Saunders. Shaped a pass to Watt himself. Nice break. Back it comes now to Cunningham, but no one there. Passed it to a New Zealand player, Shane Barley. Bad luck for Northern Division. They were on the attack. Now Friend has it for New Zealand. John Griffin, the hooker, up at dummy half. Wayne Dwyer coming through on the burst. Griffin again at dummy half. And across it goes to Wright. And the ball's been lost. Northern Division back in possession with Rodden. Out to Saunders. And Saunders out to Brooks. Floats the pass to Duke, but it went forward. Northern Division looking good.
Yes, Wayne, they are. They've made full use of the ball when they've had it there in attack and flicking around. It was rather unfortunate there for Cunningham. He thought he had support in backing him up, but threw a wild pass and had no one with him. We have scrums of 1-1 at this stage.
1 each, and Friend has it for New Zealand. Pint-sized 5'8". This is the captain, John Whittaker. Griffin again at dummy half. Gerard Stokes, and he's lost the ball behind him. It's picked up by David Field. Back to Tony Cole. Penalty. Trying to rake the ball away from New Zealand, and New Zealand get the penalty. 6.5 to almost 7 minutes gone in the match, and the Northern Division lead by 5 points to 0. There's the fullback Lou Hudson with the touchline finder, and he finds it, but didn't gain very much ground at all. So it's John Griffin with the restart. Griffin back to Stokes, straight into the defence. New Zealand's handling will have to pick up a little bit. They've dropped the ball a couple of times. That's Mark Gillespie, a nice little break, and back it goes to Shane Varley, and Varley has split them. Turns it back inside, but the ball's been knocked on. Gillespie was the offender. Signs of New Zealand showing promise in attack, and it's another New Zealand scrum win. Wright has it, and he fires it out to Clayton Friend. Friend turns it out wide to Whittaker, and Whittaker again back to Owen Wright, swivelling around trying to get the pass out. Tony Cole has it now, and Cole going for the line. He's very close. Lost the ball forward. Bad luck for New Zealand. So the scrum only about 5 metres out from the Northern Division line. A vital scrum for Terry Welsh. Referee Brian Grant having a close look at this one. Northern Division scrum. Rodden breaking quickly. Saunders at dummy half. That's Keeble. Tony Keeble from Armidale. Welsh at dummy half. Northern Division will have to get it away from their own line. John Southam. Half break. Good support there. Welsh now at dummy half. Craigie. Saunders. Dangerous pass, but he took it well. Just on their own quarter line, Northern Division trying to work play away from their own line. That's Cunningham. Craigie again at dummy half. Straight back to Brooks for the kick. A deep one, but it's not going to find touch. And New Zealand back in possession. That's the winger, Kevin Fisher. Griffin it is at dummy half. And a nice pass out to Varley. Already Shane Varley making his presence felt in this match. That was Griffin again. And back to the second row, Wayne Dwyer running strongly into the ruck. Gerard Stokes up at dummy half. New Zealand standing bunched. It's Gillespie looking around for support. Throws a wild pass. And it's picked up by Dwyer. John Griffin in all the play in the early part of this match, the hooker for New Zealand. That's Whittaker. Turns it back nicely inside to Owen Wright. It tries to switch play around. The ball's gone loose. It's picked up there by Dwyer again. And Dwyer right on the quarter line. Sixth tackle coming up for New Zealand. Northern Division on the back pedal. That's Varley with a nice little kick over the top, but well taken by Greg Guider, who only confirmed his fitness for this match on Sunday. He missed the club game for Tamworth City on Sunday to make sure he'd be fit for Northern Division today. Welsh, Southam, Craigie to Brooks. Well tackled around the legs by his opposite number. Craigie out to Saunders. Back inside to Phil Guest coming through. Saunders again. Northern Division in the last tackle, almost up to the halfway line. Craigie kicks for touch, and it's out on the full. So Northern Division didn't make any ground at all in those 6 tackles, and they're back to where they started from, midway between the quarter line and the halfway line, their end of the ground. Craigie to feed the scrum. Looks like a Northern Division ball. Varley, Whittaker, cuts out Friend with a pass to Hudson coming through on the burst. He's lost it. Dived on by Rodden for Northern Division. Rodden making ground upfield. Oh, a good run by Peter Rodden, looking around for support, and he's intercepted. Owen Wright has it for New Zealand. South from behind. Almost on the quarter line, New Zealand back in possession again. John Whittaker finds Friend, Clayton Friend. John Griffin up at dummy half. Apparently he's injured, so time off as the referee. And fluctuating shifting fortunes at this stage of the game, Peter.
Yes, Wayne, it is. So far, New Zealand have had a little bit of dropsy at stages of the game, but no doubt now starting to find their feet a little bit. Full marks to Northern Division so far. They've made full use of the ball whilst having it and trying to keep New Zealand deep in their territory early, but they're not doing so much of it now. New Zealand has started to create a few breaks and get through at an odd occasion.
Shane Varley looking good at this early stage, the halfback.
Yes, he is, and he's there's not a lot of him, but he's plenty of speed about. And
Peter, just excuse me, but what do you think about New Zealand's decision about coming very late to this game? They didn't come until 2 o'clock, and the game was underway at 3.
Yeah, well,
it seems a bit strange.
Well, it does, and it wouldn't give them much time to settle here before getting out on the paddock, and no doubt it's probably the reason for a lot of their problems early in this stage.
Well, that's
they've made up for that now.
Owen Wright, back it comes to John Whittaker. Whittaker for the line, and he'll score for New Zealand. That's the captain, John Whittaker, going over. Well, minutes gone, and New Zealand hit back. It's 5 points to 3. Now, I suppose time will tell as to whether New Zealand have suffered any in any way by their late arrival on the ground. But at the moment, they've come back very well after being down 5-0. It's now 5 points to 3. And that was elementary play, Peter, I think, just switching the ball out wide.
Yes, it was very quick too, and Wright has been quick to capitalise on a few of our mistakes earlier also, and he was the one that done that very nicely and got it away to Whittaker, who was backing up. Perhaps we opened our mouth too soon in saying that they hadn't settled down, but they made full amends for it then.
Yes, he looks a good player, Owen Wright. Now here's the fullback, Lou Hudson, with the conversion attempt, and he's missed it. So it's still 5 points to 3 in favour of Northern Division. And it's good to see an orthodox kicker in these days of representative football. We see quite a few around the corner kicks. Mind you, they do prove very successful. It's Craigie with a restart. Kevin Fisher has it for New Zealand. Almost up to his own quarter line. That's Griffin going himself. Swings it back now. And Dwyer is tackled over the quarter line about a foot or two. Through Varley, switching of play very quickly. And that's Gillespie, who's eventually tackled by Northern Division. Griffin again at dummy half. Stokes. Nice turn back inside to Cole. And then to Varley, and he's crash tackled into the ground. And James Cunningham has a nasty cut on his forehead as a result of that.
Yes, he's bleeding fairly well too, Wayne. James Cunningham, I think that might be pretty serious, that one.
I think he'd do well to come off the field, wouldn't you, Peter?
Yes, I would.
New Zealand in the attack. Varley, wild pass to Field. David Field straightens up the attack. Well tackled on the halfway line. Cunningham calling for the trainer to come on. New Zealand just marginally ahead in the scrums, that right, Peter?
Yeah, the scrum count at this stage is 3-2 favouring New Zealand. It's 4-2 now.
Yeah.
One.
Varley, tackle at the scrum base. Owen Wright. Big strong second rower. Griffin again at dummy half. Oh, lost the ball there, Wayne Dwyer. And we have Greg McCormack warming up on the sideline. He may be coming on.
Looks like Cunningham's off, Wayne.
Yep. Greg McCormack, his big chance from Inverell RSM. Penalty, 4 feet across the scrum to Northern Division, a differential penalty. Although one wouldn't expect them to take a penalty goal from that far out. David Brooks now with the kick for line. That's the Southam. He's met very high and very solidly by Griffin. Now back it comes to Philip Guest. Welsh at dummy half. Northern Division almost to the quarter line, New Zealand's end of the ground. Craigie past to Keeble, and Keeble split the defence, looking around for support, finds David Brooks, and Brooks will score. Good try to Northern Division, under the post. Eight points to 3, Northern Division lead. And some good work there from Northern Division.
Yeah, fine work, Wayne. Brooks really capitalised on Keeble's opening up of him. Then when he drew the full back and split it away to him, Tony Keeble really went through that gap on the burst. And,
I think it was a nice pass too from Joe Craigie, which put Keeble through the gap.
Well, Craigie set it up, yes, early in the piece. He drew him very nicely. He got it away very quickly, and he was hard on the burst. Bad luck for Northern Division losing James Cunningham. They've been taking the ambulance now, and I'd say probably requires a few stitches by the look of the way that wound is bleeding there, Wayne. So McCormick gets his chance now to show his ability with the Northern Division side. There's Brooks's penalty. His conversion is right.
And so Northern Division take a 10 points to 3 lead after 17 minutes of the first half. And he's an exciting player, Greg McCormack. I've watched him play for Inverell a couple of times. Inverell, of course, still in semi-final contention, but have lost quite a few games this season. And McCormack has always looked good, even though the team has been beaten. So we'll see how he plays for Northern Division this afternoon. Northern Division back with the ball after the kick-off. Welsh at dummy half. Going himself. And out it comes to Rodden. Or rather, that was Guest. Back to Brooks for the kick for line. Not a bad kick either. Bounce has beaten the New Zealand player into touch. A good kick. I think that might be Rodden, who's down injured and back playing for Northern Division. The scrum about to go down almost on the quarter line, and Northern Division come away with it. Craigie. And it's going to be a penalty. Penalty to Northern Division, and they needed it there. That means Brooks can add further points here if he can land this goal. 10-3 the score, and almost 20 minutes gone in the first half. Very important lead. He's to the left-hand side of the uprights, and about 10 to 15 metres in from the touchline. Peter Rodden getting up to his feet. He's quite okay, although he is running over towards the sideline. Now Brooks has this placed. Taking plenty of care with it. Now moves in for the kick. He struck it very well. That's a goal. Northern Division lead by 12 points to 3. And if you're a Northern Division supporter, you couldn't have asked for a better start, could you, Peter?
They're going well, Wayne. It's very noticeable the way the 3 Werris Creek players are combining in Guest and Rodden and John Southam. And notice that Craigie's linked up with them very quickly, a former teammate of him a couple of seasons back. You can't beat it the way they're combining at this stage anyway. The whole team's going pretty well, Wayne.
This is Southam. Midway between the quarter and halfway line. Welsh dummy half. And that was Guest, wasn't it? Going into the... No, that was Keeble, sorry. Tony Keeble. He's got a penalty. So now Northern Division with a chance to get back into New Zealand territory again. How are the penalties going, Peter?
Penalties at this stage, Wayne, favour Northern Division 4-1. And the scrums are 4-2 in favour of New Zealand.
And that was a good kick once again, taking play into New Zealand's territory. New Zealand being forced to do plenty of defending in the first 20 minutes of play. Duke. Back it comes to Southam. Nice pass back inside to Philip Guest. And there was some evidence of what you were saying, Peter, with Southam and Philip Guest following straight through after him. Craigie, and a nice pass to David Brooks. That's a high pass over the top to McCormick. And French wasn't able to take it cleanly out there for Northern Division. New Zealand back in attack with Wright in possession. Now McGain. This is Griffin. Finds Stokes. 12 points to 3. Northern Division lead. There's Whittaker stepping. Dummy half Griffin. That's Tony Cole who's tackled. Griffin again up a dummy half to Friend. Field has Whittaker on the inside of him. Passes instead out to Fisher on the wing. And Fisher going fast. It's a good run by Fisher. Tackled out there by Guider and Duke. And that was the 6th tackle for New Zealand, the scrum to go down. The scrum situated midway between the quarter and halfway line. Northern Division ball. Guider. Saunders now, dummy half. Peter Rodden tackled right on the halfway point between the quarter and the halfway line. Welsh, Moran, haven't seen a great deal from him so far. Back to Welsh, the pass has gone astray. New Zealand back in possession. Gerard Stokes. Dummy half is right. That's Hudson. About 30 metres out, New Zealand, almost in front of the uprights. Back to Gillespie, running hard. Good tackle there by Welsh. Griffin, Cole. Out to Varley. Friend. Ball's gone loose. And Fisher has it, and now he gets it back again to Wright. Inside to Varley. New Zealand combining well. This is Dwyer. Finds Stokes. Stokes running very wide. About 15 metres out, New Zealand. Hugh McGahan, a dummy half. Crossfield through Cole. That's Varley again. Finds Field. Back inside is Whittaker. Last tackle coming up for New Zealand. Varley the run around, and now it comes to Wright. The ball's gone loose, and Northern Division have it through Guider. Drop ball hasn't helped New Zealand's cause so far. Northern Division have handled better. Saunders. And this is Moran had stepped out of that tackle all right. Welsh to McCormick, and out wide to French on the wing. Steps back inside. That was good work by Robert French. Eventually wrapped up. McCormick going the blind side. Welsh, Saunders, Craigie. Quick passing, but it's gone astray. Moran diving on it. And back now to Peter Rodden. At the Greg Guider. Quick hands from Northern Division. Guider looking for Duke, but couldn't pick him up. Philip Duke now. Another of the country New South Wales representatives in this Northern Division side. In fact, he's the New South Wales representative. And here's Craigie looking for Southam. The ball's gone to ground, and it's a penalty to New Zealand for, looks like, an intentional forward pass. The co-commentator here today is referee Peter Buck, keeping tally of the scrums and penalties, and as well keeping an objective view on the game. Good penalty to New Zealand. It's Hudson with the line finder. On the scoreboard side, and it's a good kick. It's taken play right down to the halfway line. Almost to the halfway line, rather. That was right, turning it back inside to Stokes. Almost on the halfway line. Player centred, that's Gillespie. And Dwyer tackled solidly there by John Southam. Griffin. Back to Cole. Griffin again at dummy half. Out to right. Griffin again. New Zealand not going anywhere with the ball though. Cole. Whittaker, he's lost it. So the scrum to go down almost on the halfway line. I don't think they made much ground there, Peter.
No, they didn't, Wayne. Gillespie, the prop forward for New Zealand, has been a bit damaging some runs, but apart from that, only him and Wright have probably made a few gaps and breaks. Northern Division at this stage have surprised me because their tactics have been down the middle a fair bit with the hard running in their forwards, and they've gained a lot of valuable ground through it.
And Philip Guest over the halfway line. Welsh now, dummy half. Southam, Brooks, solid defence. Guider standing up with the centres. He had Duke on the outside. That's Philip Duke now. "15 metres into New Zealand territory, Northern Division, trying to work this ball. Craigie, Saunders, back to Craigie. Took it well. Saunders looming up on the inside. It's back to Saunders now. Saunders beats the fullback, going for the corner. Coming back infield, but he'll score. Right at Northern Division. And it's 15 points to 3. Thought he may have gone the wrong way there, Peter.
It looked at Wayne for a chance. He stopped and propped and came back in, and then when he went right across field, I thought he'd throw the dummy and then draw him and get it away to his support, but he didn't. He propped and dived over, which surprised them and everyone else as well, I think. It was a good try, though, because once again we've seen Joe Craigie with his magic very early in the run and split the defence and then got it away to his supports. Craigie's having a top game.
Yes, having a fantastic game so far. David Brooks with the conversion attempt. And once again he's right on the quarter line and about 15 metres in from the touch line, the left-hand side of the uprights. Breeze blowing very slightly towards the kicker. And this would be another vital 2-pointer. The lead of 15 points to 3. This would make it 17 to 3, and New Zealand would really need to put up a performance to win from there. It's the kicker's a bit astray. So it's 15 to 3.
Scrums, Wayne, at this stage are 4-all, and the penalties are 4-2 favouring Northern Division after 30 minutes of play.
So a very even game as far as the scrums and penalties go. Perhaps the difference is the handling. Hudson with the restart. Deep downfield to Guider. And he finds support in Peter Rodden, who brushed off a couple of pretty weak tackles from New Zealand there. Saunders, McCormick. Terry Welsh, now dummy half. Craigie has Southam on the outside, took the pass low, but took it well. Welsh now. Craigie again. Guest couldn't handle it. New Zealand back in possession. That's Gillespie with it. Dwyer out to Stokes. New Zealand trailed by 12 points. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Griffin across to Cole. That's Varley again through Friend, who has it back again. Clayton Friend stepping and weaving, trying to work his way through. He's made his way to the quarter line. Lewis Hudson. And the cross field to Varley again. The ball's gone loose. Varley dives on it, but it's a knock on. And the scrum to go down about 5 metres outside the quarter line. So Terry Welsh doing very well in the scrums at the moment. 4-all. The referee wants that again. And there's a penalty. Beat across the scrum, says the referee. Differential penalty to New Zealand. Just outside the quarter line. Hudson's going to have the kick for line. lead-up game here today was won by Lambton High, who defeated Farrer High 27 points to 23 in a great game of schoolboy football. 18 all at half-time. New Zealand now through Varley. Varley still going. He's a hard man to put down. Craigie eventually gets him. Now Dwyer out to David Field, looking for support. He's crash tackled to the ground. Wayne Dwyer. John Whittaker. Ball's loose out there. Knock on, says the referee. And we'll have another scrum. This time only about 15 metres out from the Northern Division line. New Zealand with a bit more possession, getting closer to the Northern Division line, but Northern Division's defence still looks pretty solid. Craigie to feed. Northern Division ball. Craigie forced back in that tackle. Guider, Saunders, he's had a good game so far as well, linking up well with Craigie. McCormack, the pass has gone loose, dived on by Moran. Now McCormack going himself, and he didn't make much ground. Welsh up at dummy half, Northern Division standing bunched behind the line. No room really to pass the ball out along the back line. John Southam takes the tackle. Welsh again at dummy half. Rodden. Tony Keeble up at dummy half now. Back to Brooks. High kick. And it's well taken over there. That was the winger, Kevin Fisher, who took that well. Lou Hudson at dummy half. New Zealand midway between the quarter and the halfway line now. Gerard Stokes, big boy, still going. He's brought down now 10 metres out from the quarter line. Griffin back to Tony Cole. Griffin again. Gillespie running into the defence, and that was a pretty tame old run by Gillespie. Turned around for support, but they were just walking behind him. Now that's Shane Varley. A long pass out to Fisher on the wing. Well wrapped up by Philip Duke. And the sixth tackle again to go down. Only about 6 minutes remaining in the first half. And Peter, hasn't it been an enterprising first half from a Northern Division point of view?
It has, Wayne. Northern Division have played really well, and I was only just thinking what New Zealand players have got over their opposing numbers, and I can't name any at this stage. I think the two halfbacks have had a good duel, but I still give Craigie the pat on the back at this stage of being the top half.
Yep. Craigie's had a leading role in the 3 tries scored by Northern Division so far. 3 tries and 3 goals, 15 points. To 1 try, no goals, 3 points. And Northern Division still coming onto the ball with plenty of gusto. 15 points to 3 coming up to the last 5 minutes of the first half. Welsh. Rodden turns it back inside to Craigie coming through, and a good little break by Joe Craigie. Still going, Craigie. Still going. Craigie, a nice break, looking for support now. Gets it back to Guider. Northern Division, another try coming up by the look of it. Guider for the line, and he'll score. Great play by Joe Craigie. Magnificent break and some very weak New Zealand defence. Northern Division 18 points to 3, and it was that man Craigie again.
Yes, Wayne, once again, and Joe's having a top game. I don't think I've seen him play better, mate. He's getting better with age.
That's for sure. This penalty, this conversion attempt is not all that difficult for David Brooks. 18 points to 3, 5 minutes remaining in the first half. And I think Joe Craigie will have to score a try before the end of the game, otherwise it wouldn't be justice. He's played so well. Now here's Brooks with this conversion attempt. He's to the left of the uprights, not too far away though. He's inside the quarter, and it shouldn't be too difficult to kick for the New South Wales country representative. How are the statistics at this stage, Peter?
Well, at this stage in the scrums, Wayne, Northern Division are leading 5 scrums to 4, and in the penalties, Northern Division also lead that 4 to 3.
Slight edge in possession, and they've been able to do quite a lot with it. Brooks now with the kick. He's got it. another goal to David Brooks. That was, I think, his 4th goal. All the division lead now by 20 points to 3. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. And the kickoff has failed to go the required distance. Fundamental error from New Zealand, and you don't often see those sort of errors from an international touring team, Peter.
Well, you shouldn't, Wayne, but you do see it even in first grade in Sydney. We see it now and again, but you wonder why it happens. I see Steve Rogers do it not so long ago, and it must give coaches a severe attack of headaches at the stage that they see these things happen by their top players.
It's a deep kick, and in fact it's gone into touch. Over the quarter line, restart by Duke. Duke now, back to Welsh. Craigie finds David Brooks coming through quickly. Ball's been wrestled from his arms, and Hudson has it for New Zealand. That's Gerard Stokes. Griffin. Out to Cole. Right on the quarter line. He's not showing any enthusiasm in attack. And perhaps we may have been right early on in the game after all in saying that their late arrival on the ground has had a lot to do with their poor performance, because they haven't shown a great deal. Apart from a couple of early breaks, they've been well contained by the Northern Division defence. Last tackle now for New Zealand. Griffin. Stokes. Varley. Back inside to Whittaker. Whittaker still going, looking around for support, but too late. And the scrum to go down midway between the quarter and the halfway line. Coming up to half-time, 2 minutes remaining in the first half. James Cunningham taken away by ambulance for stitches after a cut in the head, and replaced by Greg McCormack early in the first half. Northern Division ball. Peter Rodden now playing it. Saunders, Craigie, Moran in the centres. Craigie again at dummy half. Back to McCormack. Nice little run by McCormack, back to Moran. And the pass has gone astray. Bad luck for Northern Division, because there was Craigie looming up on the outside again. New Zealand back in possession with Griffin. Sorry, that was Field who played it. Dwyer now to Field again, and Stokes standing wide out. Passes back inside to Griffin. Kevin Fisher is up at dummy half. This is Wright. Barreled into the ground. Good tackle from Peter Rodden. Griffin. Dwyer. Can't make any ground with it though. Last tackle coming up for New Zealand. Whittaker. Trying to step his way through, looking around for support, but New Zealand standing too flat. Hudson finds Varley, and back inside to Gillespie. Turns it back to Varley, but he's knocked it on. That was the 6th tackle anyway. So the scrum going down almost on the halfway line. And Northern Division taking a slight edge in the scrums by 6-4. Northern Division ball again. Guider. Touch judge coming in, didn't like the way that tackle was affected. We're just about on the half-time siren. We'll hear that siren any tick of the clock. About 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Referee awarding a penalty to Northern Division, and David Brooks with a long-range penalty attempt. 20 points to 3 is the score. And we're right on the half-time now. Here, in fact, it goes. So it'll be half-time as soon as Brooks finishes this kick. And what a first half from Northern Division. 20 points to 3. 4 tries. The tries to Greg Guider, Philip Duke, and we also had tries to Saunders and David Brooks. 4 goals to David Brooks. Brooks with the conversion attempt, the penalty attempt rather. Long range attempt, 35 metres out. Struck it well, it's just going away. No goal, it's half time with Northern Division leading by 20. Not coming out
Mark
for the second
Lesby.
half. Right. Well, 40 minutes of football remaining. Can Northern Division pull it off? They lead by 20 points to 3. Restart from Craigie. And New Zealand aided here in that they'll have the sun behind them in the second half. As Wright takes the first tackle. Northern Division will be looking into that sun right through the second half. That's proven the downfall of quite a few teams here at Scully Park, but Northern Division have a big lead. Griffin with a long pass back to Hudson. Guider underneath this one. Takes it beautifully. Now Guider up to his own quarter line. Well caught over there by McCann. This is Robert French, the young Musselbrook player on the wing from Welsh. Finds Brooks, Keeble. Now Brooks. Good little run by David Brooks. Kicks ahead. Craigie is chasing this one through. He's coming through very fast. Hudson diving on it for New Zealand. Saves the situation, only a metre out from his own line. Lou Hudson now. Plays it back to John Whittaker.
There was that gap down the edge of the ruck again, Wayne, when Brooks capitalised on it very smartly.
That's right, Peter. And it was just a bit of bad luck that the bounce didn't favour Northern Division. Otherwise, it could have been New Zealand could have been in more trouble. It's Wright stepping out of a couple of tackles. McGahan is a dummy half. That's Cole through Field. Friend it was, sorry, Clayton Friend, and now Griffin has it. Now Barley up a dummy half. That's Stokes. Wild pass, dived on by Griffin. That was the sixth tackle for New Zealand, and the scrum to go down way between the quarter and the halfway line. Scrums in the first half, Peter, they favoured Northern Division, didn't they?
Yeah, 7-4, Wayne.
Terry Walsh excelling himself in the role of hooker. Captain of the side, and another one to Northern Division to start the second half, Craigie. Dummy half is Rodden, and Southam just going without it. Knock on, says the referee. Big crowd in attendance here today, and they're thoroughly enjoying Northern Division's great display. That's a New Zealand scrum. This is Clayton Friend. Another dummy half. There's the replacement player, Malari. He had support, but didn't get the pass away, almost up to the halfway line. Griffin now dummy half. Cole cuts out Stokes with a pass to Varley. Finds Whittaker. Ball's lost though. Moran has it for Northern Division. Still going, Moran. Stepped out of a couple of pretty weak tackles there, and he finds Robert French. French going for the corner. Another Northern Division try. And it was good lead-up work by the Armidale player, Derek Moran, who set that try up before he gave the final pass to Robert French. And I think, Peter, that would be a big thrill for young Robert French to score that try.
Yes, it would be, Wayne. It was he capitalised on Moran's break and give the opposition no chance at all skirting down the flank there.
No, plenty of pace. Now, David Brooks with the conversion attempt. Northern Division lead by 23 points to 3. And I think this will be a little bit embarrassing for the New Zealand officials here today. Such a big lead. This one is to the left of the uprights and only about 8 or 9 metres in from the touchline. Northern Division certainly not giving New Zealand any chance to hit their straps in the second half, Peter.
No, they've Northern Division have gone right on with the game, Wayne, and they look just as good as they did in the first half at this stage.
Brooks with the conversion attempt. Moves in. He struck it well. He's got it. Great goal from almost from the sideline. And it's Northern Division 25 leading New Zealand 3.
Five goals to David Brooks. He's kicking well.
Yes, in great form. Hudson with a restart for New Zealand. And they have a lot to do now. The bunt's gone in touch in goal, over the dead ball line. So the restart from the quarter line, Cormac bringing the ball out. Straight into the defence. Southam. Welsh. That was Rodden. Past the guest, and it's gone wild now, and I think New Zealand have got it. New Zealand back in possession. This is the second rower, Wayne Dwyer. Griffin. Half wide to Malari on the wing. And the ball jolted from his hand, but the ball went into the player was in touch first. So the scrum will have to go down about 15 metres out from Northern Division's line. Referee Grant having a close look at the scrum, fed by Craigie, won by Northern Division. And a New Zealand player is about to be spoken to here. It was the 5'8" Clayton Friend who descended upon Joe Craigie. Penalty to Northern Division. Looks a clear play. Northern Division have a big lead in the penalties, Peter.
Yeah, favouring Northern Division 7-3, Wayne, and the scrums favour them also 8-5 at this point.
Southam. Good pass to French. Welsh, a dummy half. Inside it comes, and I think that was McCormick. Craigie. Saunders, back to Craigie again. Long pass out to McCormick, who's standing out in the centres. Guider. Back inside to Craigie. Having a picnic today, Joe Craigie. I don't think he's been able to find himself in as many gaps as he has today against this New Zealand defence. Guider. Oh, nice run by Guider, straight through them. Looking for support. Wild pass. Almost picked up by Welsh. Ball's gone loose again. And New Zealand back in possession. This is Clayton Friend. Greg Guider again showing just how easy it is to split the New Zealand defence. Penalty to New Zealand. Lou Hudson with the kick for line. Finds touch on the clubhouse side, midway between the quarter and the halfway line. See if New Zealand can do something with the ball now. That's Malari coming through on the burst, but he's met with some solid defence. Griffin, right, trying to straighten up the attack, and he finds Cole. Takes the tackle. Right on the quarter line. New Zealand in attack. And Stokes standing wide. Pass out to David Field. He's not far out, only about 10 metres out from the line. Dwyer, Griffin, and that's Friend. And here's Lou Hudson coming up from fullback. Not able to split the defence. Clayton Friend again at dummy half. Cole, and out to McGahan, who's not far out from the line, only about 8 metres out. Last tackle coming up for New Zealand. Fisher, Cole, switch of play, that's been lost. Knock on, says the referee. And that was not good play from New Zealand.
It certainly wasn't, Wayne. They had every opportunity there of up inside Northern Division quarter line of making every post a winner there, but Wright put the ball down and we see a scrum, but it's coming out New Zealand way now.
Friend, Clayton Friend has it. 10 metres out, that's right. And across through McGahan, Varley, Field, back, Field going himself. And the ball's gone loose again. Knock back, says the referee. This is McGahan running wide. Wrapped up there by Guider underneath. Now we've got Whittaker and out to Stokes, and Stokes is crashing over 5 metres out. Dummy half is Dwyer. New Zealand lined out right across the field. McGahan, Varley, Friend, Field, and out to the wing again to Fisher, and Fisher's going for the corner around Duke, and Fisher will score. Over in the corner, and it's a try to New Zealand, and it's about time, Peter.
Yes, Wayne, it was. I was only watching Fisher in the first half. He looked to have a ton of pace, and he stood Duke up then, and then sprinted off the mark, and he was miles too quick for his opposite number in Duke.
Try coming up in the 11th minute of the second half, and Northern Division lead by 25 points to 6. Well, could this be the start of a New Zealand revival, Peter?
Well, they'll have to go pretty well to keep it up to pull this big lead back. But let's hope we see a good game from here on in, and New Zealand do put their act together a bit better.
Lou Hudson with the conversion attempt. Hudson with the conversion attempt.
Scully Park wasn't to be outdone by the Sydney Cricket Ground. We haven't a fight up on the hill, we have one down on the hill.
And that conversion attempt is unsuccessful. It's 25 points to 6. And the fact they can't kick a goal isn't going to help New Zealand's cause either. Hudson has been astray with his 2 attempts at conversion. And as you mentioned there, Peter, quite a number of the spectators were looking in the wrong direction altogether when that kick was being taken because of a fight over the far side of the ground.
Yeah, I'm sure this game will be better to watch than that would be, Wayne.
That's for sure. Restart, and that pass just in front of McGahan. He wasn't able to pick it up.
They've let the mistakes creep into the game right through it so far, with fundamental problems there and little knock-ons and that, where Northern Division haven't been that way at all. They've been capitalising all their mistakes. Here's a scrum to Northern Division. Yeah,
and it's French out on the wing, and I think that is another feather in the cap of Jim Cox, their coach.
Yes, that's right. They're leading the scrums 9-6.
9-6. Handy lead. That's Saunders. Southam finds French again on the wing. Dummy half is Welsh. That's Peter Rodden. Back to Welsh, and he's lost it backwards, but it's picked up by Brooks. Southam. Craigie. Pass inside to Philip Guest. Back now, and that's a kick from Rodden is knocked down. But New Zealand have it. Knocked back, says the referee. Says Fisher, the try scorer. And he's tackled into touch. Duke, a very strong defender, and as far as stand-up situations go, the last time that Fisher was able to get around him was mainly by sheer pace, but if he ran into Duke head-on, you can find Duke will take him 9 times out of 10. And they switch around here in that Clayton Friend is feeding the scrums now. Craigie. Northern Division come away with the ball again. Very handy lead on the scrums of 10-6. Peter Rodden, a dummy half. Saunders cuts out McCormick with a pass to Guider. Well caught by the defence. Saunders again, a dummy half. John Southam. Derek Moran. Gerard Stokes, who's standing out very wide today for New Zealand, was the man who did the tackling. Craigie. And back inside to Peter Rodden. Rodden bumps off one with a pass to French. And there was a lot of intent there, but nothing happened from it. Southam. Almost to the quarter line. Northern Division with a big lead, 25 points to 6, 15 minutes gone in the second half. Craigie. Little kick through, and a very little kick through, as a matter of fact. And I think Northern Division may still have it. Yeah, 6 to go. Well, Craigie can't do a thing wrong. That kick wasn't nearly deep enough, but it's still regained by Northern Division, and they've still got 6 to go. Saunders. Right on the quarter line. McCormick. And it's a penalty to Northern Division Clayton Friend being a little bit unfriendly in that tackle.
Yeah, since he's moved into the halfback spot, Wayne, he's put a little bit of fire in there. It looks like they're using the softening up tactics in the second half instead of the first one.
That's a bit too late.
Yes, Trent's found that Craiggie's been a bit slippery for his halfback partner in the first half, and he's moved into the halfback spot where they're trying to contain him a bit, and he's been using a little bit of rough tactics to do so.
That could be the plan. Now Brooks with the penalty attempt. This time it hasn't paid off. If Brooks has been able to land this penalty, it'll put them further ahead, Northern Division. They already lead by 25 points to 6.
Penalties favour the Northern Division 8-4, Wayne. 10-6 in the scrums.
Plenty of ball, Northern Division, and they're doing a lot with it. Here's Brooks with the penalty attempt. Represented for New South Wales country. He struck that very well. It's a good kick. 27 points to 6. Northern Division lead. 6 goals now to David Brooks and a try, so he's having a big game. There are quite a number of informed goal kickers in the Northern Division side. Joe Craigie is certainly no slouch with the boot. He was in good form against West Tamworth last Sunday. This is Greg Guider. Right up to the quarter line and over the quarter line, as a matter of fact. John Southam is a dummy half. That's French. Coming across field, running into some solid defence there from the hooker Griffin. Welsh. And Rodden is tackled just over the quarter line. Tony Keeble. Welsh. Rodden's gone through his hands, picked up by Saunders. Back to McCormick, out to Moran. Has Duke on the outside in support, still going Moran. McCormick at dummy half. Low pass to Craigie, but he picked it up on the bounce. Back to Brooks, North Division standing flat-footed. This is Duke. Around his man. Pass back to Brooks has gone astray. Duke has it again and the scrum will go down almost on the halfway line. During the half-time break, Peter, we discussed the fact that this game could be a little bit flat in the second half, but I think both sides have done quite well. They've come out with plenty of spirit.
Yes, it's been entertaining, Wayne, and it's been quite good at this stage, and let's hope it doesn't fall away now.
Friend has it for New Zealand. Peter Rodden over the top. Wayne Saunders underneath. It was Varley. Fisher, quick hands out to David Field. Cut down from behind, a beautiful tackle from Derek Moran. This is Wayne Dwyer running from dummy half. Griffin. Malari. New Zealand player down injured. Looks like Wayne Dwyer. That's Gerard Stokes. Tony Coll again, a dummy half. Right. Still going right, looking around for support and finds Whittaker, but the pass has gone forward. Intentionally forward, says the referee, and the penalty goes to Northern Division.
Bad luck for New Zealand there. They were on their way for a try by the look of it, Wayne, but it was well offside.
And quite a wild pass too. That kick from on the scoreboard side finds touch. About 12 metres, 15 metres outside the halfway line, Robert French. 27-6. 19 minutes gone in the second half.
Shane Varley for New Zealand has come off, Wayne, and been replaced by number 14 in
I'll let you pronounce that one, Peter.
James Leluai.
Leluai. That's correct, Leluai. Saunders now. Tony Keeble running very strongly. Derek Moran up at dummy half. Saunders. Craigie. Welsh. Guider's knocked it on. Well, I think that's bad luck for New Zealand with Shane Varley going off, Peter. I thought he was one of their better players as far as attack goes. I don't...
He certainly was in the first half. He quietened us slightly in the second. That's perhaps why he moved from the halfback position, though,
yeah.
Wayne, when he was taken by Friend. There's Friend giving Craigie another bit of a welcome.
Yes, he has a healthy dislike for Joe Craigie, but there's David Brooks making another bust. Up the middle looking for support, but there was no one there. Northern Division standing back a little bit slack that time. Welsh. Craigie. And the pass has gone to Southam, striding through. Craigie again at dummy half. Signals the open side and then goes back again. He's right in front of his uprights, in front of the New Zealand uprights. And about 12, 13 metres out. Welsh, nice reverse of play to Philip Guest, but he's lost the ball. Northern Division have it. Gerard Stokes on his own line. Can't afford to make any mistakes here, New Zealand. Whittaker was about to pass that ball, but thought better of it. And here's a good run out on the wing by Wayne Dwyer. Not really sure why the second row was standing out on the wing.
He's been there a bit, Wayne, since that injury.
That could be the reason, yes. Leluai, the replacement player, James Leluai, back inside to Gerard Stokes. And the pass again to Dwyer. Almost up to the halfway line. Griffin. Once again, New Zealand playing at one out. Got to do more with the ball. This is Clayton Friend looking around for support, but they were all standing flat-footed. That's the sixth tackle. New Zealand make a little bit of ground, but are still camped inside their own territory as the scrum goes down for the sixth tackle. 18 minutes remaining.
Shane Varley off with a hand injury, Wayne. He noticed his hand was very heavily strapped, but he has indicated to his strapper there that problem with his hand. That's probably why he shifted from the halfback spot.
And here's Clayton Friend making a nice little break from the scrum base. That's McGahan. And a wild pass. Peter Rodden was a little bit offside there, Peter.
Yeah, just a bit, Wayne. Only about 10 or 15 metres.
Now it's New Zealand with a penalty. David Field. Owen Wright up a dummy half. Going himself. Now he passes it back to Tony Cole. Griffin is a dummy half. Gerard Stokes out through Whittaker, Leluai and Hudson coming through very fast on the burst. The fullback. McGahan, Leluai again. Whittaker, nice reverse of play. Whittaker going hard. Now he's lost the ball. Kicked through, dived on by New Zealand, and there'll be a scrum for the knock-on. Scrum going down only 10 or 15 metres outside the Northern Division line, so a vital scrum for New Zealand. And of course, Northern Division. Craigie to feed. Referee Grant wasn't happy with it and gives a penalty to New Zealand, differential penalty. So New Zealand once again pressing hard. This is Field. McGahan on the outside. Field goes himself. He's not far out from the line, only about 5 metres out. McGahan at dummy half. Wild pass. It's picked up by Wright. And this pass has gone to ground. It's picked up by Stokes. He's not far out from the line. Northern Division defence covering him though. 6 to go, says the referee. Whittaker a dummy half. Reverse of play. McGahan not far out from the line. 5 metres out. Northern Division defence hanging on. Griffin, dummy half. Friend. And across to the replacement player, Malari. Well taken in that tackle. Greg Guider coming across to cut him out. This is Tony Cole trying to straighten up the attack. And the pass back to Griffin. And back it goes now to Malari, who's not far out from the line, trying to dive his way over, but the ball's gone loose. Kicked through. And that was good work by Northern Division's defence. Northern Division showing their true mettle there, Peter.
Yes, Wayne, it's the most pressure they've had put on them in defence, as far as defence goes for most of the game, and they held out well there.
Restart from Brooks. Hudson underneath it. And Brooks takes him. Griffin. Stokes. McGahan was coming through on the burst, but all he could do was trip over. Cole, dummy half. That's Fisher. Coming in field. 15 metres out from the Northern Division line. New Zealand pressing. McGahan through Cole. He's still got it. And he's lost the ball now, though. And it's gone forward. So the scrum will go down about 6 or 7 metres out from the Northern Division line. 27 points to 6 and 15 minutes remaining. Scrum close to the Northern Division line, and it's come out Northern Division side. Brooks. And that's surprising to see David Brooks standing out of the scrum, Peter.
Well, he was out, Wayne, from... he sustained a little bit of an injury from an incident with the winger a bit earlier, and he was still getting over that, I think.
They still won the ball, though. French coming in field. A nice break by Robert French. Clayton Friend over the top, though. Wraps him up. Terry Welsh, a dummy half. This is Craigie, back to McCormick. Derek Moran. Going himself across field. Links up with Greg Guider. Guider with a clap of pace and then turns it back inside to Robert French. Quick thinking by Northern Division. Brooks, a dummy half. Kicks for the touchline and finds it. Finds touch about 8 or 9 metres into Northern Division, into New Zealand territory. The scrum to go down. Only 14 minutes remaining in the match, and it's hard to see New Zealand coming back from here, trailing by 21 points. Penalty to Northern Division, collapsing the scrum. The hooker there for New Zealand being the last player up off the ground. And the statistics at this stage, Peter.
Well, Northern Division lead the scrums by 12 to 8, and also the penalties 10 to 6.
It's all Northern Division. They lead 27 points to 6. 13 minutes remaining. Here's Philip Guest with a restart. Once again, Terry Welsh, who's been the general, right up there with him. John Southam. Wild pass, that may have been a bit forward, picked up by Keeble. He had to go back to pick it up. Craigie. It's gone back inside to Southam. He's not far out from the line. John Southam, Northern Division pressing again. 27 points to 6 they lead, trying for another 5-pointer. Welsh switches at the outside to Brooks, and Brooks is going over towards the corner. Back inside it comes to Robert French, and Robert French is in for yet another try. $30 points to 6, and very thin defence out wide. David Brooks charging onto the ball.
We have a replacement in the Northern Division side, Wayne. Kevin Butters has just come on, and looks like he's replacing...
Philip Guest, is it, or Peter Rodden?
Peter Rodden's gone to the edge of the field there. Whether it's him or not, I'm not sure at this stage.
The ambulance officer's going across there. There is another Northern Division player.
Philip Guest, Wayne.
Yeah.
Kevin Butters replacing Philip Guest.
Well, I hope it's nothing serious for the Werris Creek supporters here today, because, and of course for Philip Guest, but Werris Creek travelling very well in the Group 21 competition, and they would not want to have an injury to Philip Guest.
Been a great team effort on Northern Division's part, Wayne. I feel in this, everyone's pulled their weight. Hooker Terry Welsh, the captain of the side, he's led the scrums 12 to 8, which given them a great advantage. And, you know, the rest of the forwards have really been a tower of strength behind him.
And Brooks is kicking magnificently. Another goal. 30 points to 6. One almost from the sideline, but it didn't matter. Put it over.
7 goals for David Brooks.
And it's 32 points to 6, according to
That's right.
the score on the board. And here's Guida now with the ball for Northern Division. 6 tries and 7 goals, 32 points to New Zealand's 2 tries, no goals, 6 points. That's the replacement player there, Kevin Butters, having his first touch of the ball. That one's gone astray. It's picked up by New Zealand. David Field up at dummy half. And Stokes. We're inside the last 10 minutes of play, 9 minutes remaining. Griffin. Pass was too low for McGahan. He's knocked it on.
Been the story of their game, Wayne,
Yeah.
dropping the ball at critical stages. Just when they're in a good attacking spot again, New Zealand, they put it down to ground.
Obviously, this side hasn't had a great deal of time together, the second string New Zealand team. And fundamental errors that perhaps would not occur to a well-drilled side. And of course, the Northern Division have proven that today. There's David Field. And out it goes to Leluai, who was well tackled by McCormick. Dwyer running hard into the defence. New Zealand 15 metres out. Griffin. Right. Pass back inside, but no ground gained. Griffin. Clayton Friend. Gerard Stokes, who's running well now, but a bit late. Lou Hudson stepped inside them nicely. Lou Hudson still going, only about 10 or 12 metres out from the line now. McGahan at dummy half. Clayton Friend trying to weave his way through the defence, but there's plenty there. Last tackle for New Zealand, John Whittaker. Flick pass back inside to Cole. He's caught though. So the scrum to go down about 10 metres out from the Northern Division line. 8 minutes remaining, 32 points to 6, Northern Division lead. And we have the scrum to be fed by Saunders. It's a New Zealand ball. And Field, Leluai, a bit of a gap out there. And still going as Dwyer. He must be close, but he's lost the ball. And French has it now for Northern Division. Let off for Northern Division because Dwyer was almost over. But any tries at this stage purely academic as Saunders makes another break. New Zealand can't come back from this bigger deficit, 32 points to 6, and only 7 minutes remaining. Derek Moran running strongly. Philip Duke picked that up well. Still going, Philip Duke. Thumped up tackle after tackle and back to Brett Grider. Brett Grider in the clear, racing for the goal post, and he'll score. Grider under the post for Northern Division. Just to put the icing on the cake. 35 points to 6. That's Greg Grider's second try. And it was good lead-up work by Philip Duke, Peter.
Yes, it was, Wayne. It started off from Brooks, who took it on the edge of the ruck and threw it to Derek Moran, who beat off 1 or 2 and got a good round the corner pass to Duke, and he bumped off 2 or 3 players, drew the defence, the last line, and got away to Greg Guida, who went on to score a great try.
And the pace of this game has been reflected in the fact that we've just had 3 players down with cramp, which is rather unusual for a team such as Northern Division.
Yes, it is.
Brooks with this conversion attempt, he should make it, which will give him his 8th goal. Has he missed any, Peter?
Well, I haven't kept the statistics on how many he's missed, Wayne, but he has missed 2 to my knowledge.
Yeah, I think he may have only missed the 1 in the first half, but it must have been a difficult kick because he's put them over from just about everywhere. And this one will be the easiest that he's going to get today. 35 points to 6, with Brooks with a conversion attempt now. And he makes no mistake, it's 37 points to 6.
He's converted 6 of the 7 tries, Wayne. So it's a top effort from David Brooks.
37 points to 6. Would you believe it? There's a touring international team that Northern Division are playing. And they're beating them 37 points to 6. And we have 5.5 minutes of play remaining. Greg McCormick. Saunders, Moran, and again a bit of a break. Looking back inside for support. John Southam running strongly, and a nice pick up there by Peter Rodden. Looking around for support and finds Joe Craigie, Northern Division, running all over the top of them. Craigie looking for support, finds McCormick, and they're still going. It's Keeble, I think. Great work by Northern Division. McCormick, Craigie out wide. Coming back inside, Joe Craigie finds Saunders. McCormick lost the ball. Ball has gone forward.
Great bit of football, Wayne, from one end of the field to the other, that was.
Yes, tremendous play by Northern Division. And I think that deserved a try. It was just bad luck that the finishing touches weren't just able to be put on that try. Scrum to go down now, only about 10 metres out from the New Zealand line. And it looks like a Northern Division ball. Saunders. Rather, that's Peter Rodden, sorry. Now, he's only about 8 metres out, Peter Rodden. Robert French is a dummy half. Going himself, and he's not far out from the line, only about 5 metres out. Northern Division pressing hard. 37 points to 6 they lead. John Southam going himself. Flick pass back inside. And Tony Keeble tried to crash his way over. This is Saunders. Gets the pass back to Rodden. Rodden going for the line, but he's 5 metres out.
Keeble been watching Brentnell, I think, Wayne.
Here's Saunders. Switching play again. Tony Keeble. Got the pass away to Welsh. Out to French on the wing. French stepped inside his man and an easy try. Northern Division in again. That's 40 points to 6. And Peter, one has to keep reminding oneself that this is a touring international team that they're playing against.
Yes, I'm sure they won't be real happy with their performance here this afternoon, Wayne, on New Zealand's part. But one thing for sure, the Northern Division boys will be well and truly happy. That's a hat-trick of tries to young French from Muswellbrook. Kept a great performance he has off on the wing there. Great to see a lot of good teamwork inside, and then well supported by your outside backs to score good tries. When you look at, we've got Duke, French 3 and Guide at 2. We're looking at a fullback and 2 wingers scoring the 6 tries out of the 8.
Not bad at all. Well, Jim Cox said before the game that he didn't want to play the game in the fours. He wanted the ball to be swung wide, and Northern Division have done that. And it's a very lax defence from New Zealand, especially there. They had no defence at all. And I think the look of surprise on Robert French's face as he strode into the clear summed it all up.
Yes, I think he was waiting for something to happen, thinking, why am I in here on my own, and nothing happening. But he made good work of every opportunity he had then.
Now another conversion attempt from David Brooks. He's having plenty of goal-kicking practice today. He's got that one too. That would make it his 9th goal, Peter, would it?
That's his 9th goal, yes, Wayne.
And it's 42 points to 6, is that correct?
Yes, we've got
Northern having
Division.
trouble to keep up. 42 points to 6.
We've got another hard game next Sunday facing Riverina, the country champions, down there next Sunday. So let's hope they perform better than this for their sake, New Zealand.
Northern Division in attack once again as the crowd starts to wend its way home. Most of the school children leaving the ground now, but of course the ardent rugby league followers staying here thrilled to the back teeth at the performance of Northern Division. 42 points to 6. Only about 2 minutes remaining in the game. Rodden, Northern Division trying everything now, reversing play, switching it wide. They can do whatever they like. A big lead. It's Keeble running onto it very strongly. Terry Welsh, a dummy half. Now to Saunders, and Saunders a nice little break, just ankle tapped. It was the 6th tackle, so the scrum going down And we'll barely have time for this scrum before we'll hear the full-time siren. And when we hear the full-time siren, Peter, I'll cross back to you and you can give your final comments and also run through the statistics for the game, including the try scorers and goal scorers. Here's Duke with another try, another scrum win to Northern Division. Peter Rodden, Joe Craigie. John Southam had a big game. Still going, John Southam. And he gets support in Joe Craigie again. Craigie looking to score his first try. He hasn't been able to score as yet. Time's right up now. Clock showing full time on the scoreboard. Brooks, Saunders, Moran, past McCormick. And there's the full-time siren. It's all over. Northern Division players jump for joy. They have beaten New Zealand by 42 points to 6. A clashing victory to Northern Division. Magnificent performances by the entire team. And Peter Buck now with the summation of the game, including the vital statistics.
Well, Wayne, as you said, it was a great team effort, and no doubt that Jimmy Cox will be very, very happy with Northern Division's performance. It's hard to single out one, and when you get a great team effort like that, but there was no one any better than what Joe Craigie was in the first half. A little quiet early in the second half, but came to light again at the finish. One would wonder how he would go through an entire game and not score a try, when I would, correct me if I'm wrong in saying that Craigie would have had a hand in the first 4 or 5 tries of the match.
That's
and tremendous effort, but a great effort on a the full side from Northern Division. They played top football, and the forwards really shocked New Zealand in the first half. Great speed and a great team effort. New Zealand, to me, was disappointing, and I'm sure they'll be disappointed in their own effort. As you said, they arrived here on the game only an hour before the match, and probably didn't have much time to get prepared for it. But as we said, we can't take any credit from the Northern Division. They really deserve their victory in 42 points to 6, and the scoreboard shows that. The statistics of the game is Northern Division in scrums won the first half in the scrums 7-4, and in the second half they won them 7-5. So overall 14-9 to Terry Welsh, which was a great triumph to him as the captain of the side, the winning side for Northern Division, and winning the scrums. In the penalties we had 6-3 in the first half favouring Northern Division, and an overall 10-7 to Northern Division for the game. The try scorers for Northern Division was won by Philip Duke, David Brooks and Saunders. Greg Grider scored 2 tries, and David French from Muswellbrook 3. The only try for New Zealand was scored by the captain, for Fisher. By John Whittaker,
and Fisher.
And a goal by Fisher. David Brooks had a great game and capped it off with 9 goals to his credit. He converted 7 of the tries scored. And this is Peter Buck and Wayne Hickson at Scully Park, the Northern Division and New Zealand game here this afternoon in a great victory to Northern Division, 42 points to 6, signing off for Tamworth Video.
I think Peter said it all. That's all right.
There you go, Grant.